Violet Evergarden walks through a bustling, sun-drenched street market, her eyes locked completely on the back of Major Gilbert Bougainvillea. She is utterly detached from the colorful festivities around her until she spots an emerald brooch resting on a velvet tray at a merchant's stall. Its striking color transfixes her, prompting Gilbert to look back. When he asks why she stopped, Violet explains that the stone is the exact same color as his eyes. Moved by her words, Gilbert purchases it for her. Suddenly, the memory fractures, and a loose sheet of paper slips from a writing desk, drifting out of an open window and floating high into the sky above a coastal town. Inside a quiet, sunlit hospital room, a sudden, heavy thud echoes through the corridor. Out in the hallway, Claudia Hodgins and a hospital nurse hear the crash and rush to the room, hurriedly pushing the door open in a panic. Inside, they find Violet collapsed directly on the floor. She has fallen while trying to move or write, her body still weak, and her newly fitted, bandaged mechanical prosthetic hands heavily uncoordinated. Hodgins rushes to her side to help her up. Instead of resting, a rigid Violet immediately treats him like a military superior, executing a stiff posture from the floor and demanding an immediate update on the war and Major Gilbert's current status. Hodgins, visibly distressed and uncomfortable, evades her questions, hiding his hands in his pockets, and gently informs her that the 4-year war has officially ended. Violet accompanies Hodgins on a steam train traveling through rolling green hills and reconstructed countryside, heading toward the bustling maritime port city of Leiden. During the ride, Hodgins presents Violet with a box of plush stuffed animals, offering her a choice. Violet reaches out and bites the ear of a stuffed puppy doll. When Hodgins questions her choice, she bluntly states she chose it because Gilbert's older brother, Dietfried, once cruelly referred to her as Gilbert's dog. As they arrive in the vibrant city, Hodgins drives them through the crowded streets. Violet notices her emerald brooch is missing, prompting a sudden wave of panic, though Hodgins promises to look into its disappearance later. Hodgins brings Violet to a grand, wealthy estate to introduce her to Tiffany Evergarden, a kind older woman who lost her own son in the war. Gilbert had previously arranged for the Evergarden family to adopt Violet so she could be raised in a peaceful environment. However, the arrangement collapses immediately. Violet remains locked in a rigid military mindset, addressing Tiffany as if she were a superior officer. When Tiffany tries to offer her a comfortable civilian life, Violet strongly objects, stating that if she is no longer useful as a weapon or a tool to Major Gilbert, she should simply be thrown away or abandoned on the streets. Realizing that the quiet estate life is deeply incompatible with Violet's current mental state, Hodgins decides to take her with him.
Hodgins brings Violet to the CH Postal Service, a large and bustling private postal corporation he founded after leaving the military. He guides her through the loud, energetic mail sorting room, which is filled with couriers, chaotic stacks of letters, and busy clerks. Violet is introduced to Benedict Blue, a sharp-tongued, high-heeled mail courier who is immediately tasked with training her. Hodgins explains to Violet that she will start working here as a mail delivery clerk to earn her own living and integrate into society. Violet goes about her daily chores with cold, mechanical efficiency. She works without resting or eating until she is explicitly ordered to do so, confusing Benedict with her stiff, robotic obedience. Later, in the employee locker room, Violet begins to unbutton her shirt to change clothes, completely indifferent to Benedict's presence. As the camera tracks his shocked reaction, her clothing slips, revealing heavy, severe battle scars across her bare back and torso. Benedict quickly averts his eyes and leaves the room in a panic, highlighting the immense psychological gap between Violet's past as a soldier and normal civilian life. Late at night, Hodgins finds Violet sitting quietly on a wooden bench outside the dark post office building. He sits down beside her
and speaks with deep remorse about his own guilt regarding how the military weaponized her as a child. He delivers a heavy warning, telling her that she doesn't realize it yet, but her body is burning from the horrific actions she committed on the battlefield. Violet looks down at her mechanical prosthetic hands, completely unable to comprehend his emotional metaphor, noting only that her hands feel cold and do not possess a physical temperature. The next morning, a rough-looking civilian client enters the CH Postal Service lobby, desperately seeking a ghostwriter to draft a love letter to a childhood friend who is about to marry someone else. Because the man is illiterate, he needs someone to put his raw, disorganized thoughts into written words. Catalea Baudelaire, a beautiful and highly skilled auto-memory doll, steps forward to assist him. As the man stumbles through his conflicting feelings, Catalea sits at her typewriter. Her fingers move with incredible speed across the keys, instantly transforming his frantic speech into an elegant, poetic confession of love. Watching this, Violet is suddenly thrown into a terrifying, blood-soaked flashback of the war's final battle at Intense. Amidst exploding artillery and collapsing stone ruins, a heavily bleeding, armless Violet desperately uses her teeth to drag a dying Major Gilbert down a flight of stairs. Gilbert screams at her to stop, ordering her to leave him behind, to survive, and to be free. With his final breath, he looks at her and says, "From the bottom of my heart, I love you."